Gods cannot coexist.
Talos is the true God of man, ascended from flesh to rule the realm of spirit. The very idea is inconceivable to our elven overlords, sharing the heavens with man? Ha! They can barely tolerate our presence on Earth!
Except for the Almighty, who became man and died on the cross to pay the debt for our sins. The existence of a God requires the inhabitants of the realm to believe in the deity. Gods occupy the realm of their believers. If a population is Greek, then every time lightning cracks open the sky, then they are under the reign of Zeus. However, if a population is Norse, then the thunder is under Thor's thraldom. If these two populations were to suddenly coexist in the same place, then who would rule the skies?
Today, they take away your faith. But what of tomorrow? What then? Do the elves take your homes? Your businesses? Your children? Your very lives? And what does the Empire do? Nothing! Nay, worse than nothing! The Imperial machine enforces the will of the Dalmor against its own people!
With the sudden and overwhelming presence of Muslim people in England, France, and other European countries, who is in charge? Allah or Jesus Christ?
My Christianity is the Christianity that defeated Islamic Jihad 3 times. My Christianity is the Christianity that conquered the Roman Empire. My Christianity is the kind of Christianity that defeated the pagan Vikings and
In Joseph Campbell's The Power of Myth, he states that invasions bring warrior gods, which we have discussed in previous videos. However, he is talking about how as people spread, as people migrate to different places, they become nomadic in a sense, because they're going there looking for the resources that they need to survive. That is by definition nomadic. And to be a nomadic tribe, you must have hunters. And then Campbell states, therefore, if you have hunters, then you have killers, because that is what is required to survive. So whenever populations migrate, one of the main things they're looking for, or have to be looking for, is food, which really is just symbolic of resources as a whole. So when people come into new land, no matter who those people may be, they bring their warrior gods with them, because they must hunt in order to survive. Therefore, they need that warrior spirit instilled in them by their deity, whoever that may be. An invading population will always bring killers with them because they themselves need hunters in order to survive. The most pertinent evidence that we see of this in American artwork is in John Gast's American Progress, which features Colombia at the center, with Americans spreading across the land to bring technology and progress. Colombia stands at the center of the painting like a goddess, as a symbolic representation of the American motherland. So this is the most clear-cut example of a people bringing their warrior gods with them. Granted, Colombia is not directly a warrior god, but she is that symbolic representation of the American motherland. Therefore, she could not possibly give birth to America if inhabiting the space with another god.
I'm in this place where I have nothing. All I have is my faith.
If I cut now, do you think Ewa will come to save him?
My people cried for help. But Eva did not come.
No. Your goddess has a no. dominion here.
We see this phenomenon quite regularly in contemporary myth. Most recently, in the Avatar 3 trailer, we see one of the Fire and Ash tribe members of the Na'vi claim to Neytiri that her goddess has no dominion here. What that means is that Neytiri's own belief in her own deity cannot outmatch the belief that her own people have in their deities. Therefore, their deities reign supreme in their realm, in their home, and Neytiri cannot compete with her belief alone. Invasions bring warrior gods unless they are stopped at the gates.
And Mother Boxes will be found and united. No protectors here. No lanterns. No Kryptonian.
What if this enemy doesn't use a gate? What if they're already here? At the end of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition, we see a deranged Lex Luthor tell Batman that the bell cannot be unrung, referring to Superman's death. Lex Luthor has now eliminated the Threshold Guardian of Earth, leaving us open to invasion from the stars. Batman undertakes it himself. He makes it his mission to assemble a new group of Threshold Guardians that can deter the coming invasion. Enter Steppenwolf, the axe-wielding warrior god of Apocalypse.
They always fail. I have come to enlighten you to the great darkness. I will bathe in your fear.
He has come to decimate the Earth. He has come to completely wipe out the native population of the planet. However, the alignment of the Justice League's beliefs, their hope that they can prevail, and their efforts towards a better future, this cultural cohesion, this higher silence that they create, is what gives them the ability to resurrect the Superman. Superman, now back and at full strength, he is able to easily fend off the invading warrior god, for he is the ultimate Threshold Guardian.
Perhaps there's something you wish to confess. Incorrect. You can worship whatever gods you like, but Talos is a man. Only a heretic would think otherwise. And so you will die a heretic's death.
And in that moment, the gods will look down and see Skyrim as she was meant to be, full of lords who are mighty, powerful, and free! For we are the children of man, and we shall inherit both heavens and earth. And we, not the elves or their toadies, will rule Skyrim forever!
Most notably do we see the effect that invading warrior gods have on a society in contemporary myth with Skyrim. If you haven't played the greatest video game of all time, let me fill you in quickly. The Empire is trying to take the providence of Skyrim under their control. However, Skyrim's warrior god, Talos, a man who had such unmatched achievement in life that he ascended to godhood, is being outlawed by the Empire. So the Stormcloaks of Skyrim rebel against this act of religious tyranny. They cannot coexist. The Empire cannot exist in this land while Talos protects it. This disagreement leads to a civil war, which the player ultimately decides the fate of. These real and mythic examples show us that the gods deny globalism. The sudden and forced integration of cultures leads to inevitable violence that is only quelled by the separation of the peoples or the submission to a foreign god. As you are in Skyrim, you are the player of your own life. You decide the outcome, so decide what to be. If you have an established faith, become a Threshold Guardian and protect it with your life. If you are still undecided, consider this. All the gods require a sacrifice from you, except for the one who sacrificed himself for you. Take up your sword, become a Threshold Guardian, and we can protect the motherland.